They laughed when she stammered. They laughed the first time she stood in front of the class. Her voice shook. Her tongue stumbled. Her accent wobbled. And her teacher, someone meant to build her, looked her straight in the eye and said, "Some people are not born to speak. Sit down." But life has a way of surprising those who think they can define another person's destiny. Because the same girl who once hid behind her mother's wrapper, afraid to talk, would one day stand under bright lights, in front of thousands, with the world hanging on her every word. This is the story of Adaora, the girl they mocked for stammering. Now a global speaker commanding stages around the world, Adaora grew up in a small town where English wasn't just a subject. It was a trophy. A mark of intelligence, a weapon used to measure someone's worth. She was smart, brilliant even. But whenever she tried to speak, her words would break into pieces. Her tongue seemed to fight her. Her heart raced. And the fear of being laughed at made her voice smaller and smaller. At home, her mother always encouraged her. "Your voice is your gift," she said. But in school, Adaora felt like her voice was a curse. The worst day came in primary 5. Her teacher asked her to read aloud. Adaora stood up, chest tight, hands shaking. She opened her mouth to speak, but the words refused to obey. She stammered. She mispronounced. Her accent echoed awkwardly in the room. The whole class burst into laughter. And then the teacher, without mercy, added, "If you can't speak well, don't speak at all." Those words followed her home, buried themselves into her heart, and built a wall around her confidence. For years, she avoided presentations. She dodged debates. She never raised her hand, even when she knew the answer. Her silence became her shield. But destiny has a strange way of calling people who try to hide from it. Years later, in university, Adaora found herself in a situation she didn't expect. During a compulsory presentation, every member of her group fell ill. Except her. She begged the lecturer to postpone it. He refused. "You will present," he said. "Life will not always give you someone to speak for you." She walked to the front, trembling. Her eyes blurred with fear. At first, the stammer tried to return, but something inside her whispered, "If you run today, you will run for the rest of your life." So she took a breath, slowed down, focused on her message rather than her fear, and for the first time, she didn't speak to impress. She spoke to express. When she finished, the hall went silent. Not because she failed, but because she shocked everyone. Then something happened she never expected. The lecturer began to clap. Slow, deliberate, proud. Others joined. Then the whole hall rose to its feet. For the first time, Adaora saw something she'd never seen before. People weren't laughing at her voice. They were listening to it. That day, she tasted the power of courage. And she wanted more. Adaora threw herself into learning. She studied communication techniques, practiced breathing exercises, listened to speakers from all over the world, recorded herself daily. Not to judge, but to grow. She joined the debate club. She volunteered for events. She read aloud every morning. Her accent didn't disappear. Her stammer didn't vanish overnight. But she learned to control it, guide it, and turn it into something unique. Eventually, someone invited her to speak at a youth event. Then another. And another. What shocked her most was this. People didn't just want to hear perfect English. They wanted authenticity. They wanted passion. They wanted a story. And Adaora had a story. One born out of pain, shame, and triumph. Her voice, once her weakness, became her signature. Years later, Adaora received an email that changed everything. She had been selected to speak at an international conference in Dubai. A global stage. Thousands of people. Live broadcast. All expenses paid. When she stepped on that stage, the lights were blinding. But not as blinding as the memory of those who had doubted her. She looked at the sea of faces. Professionals, executives, leaders from all over the world. She took a deep breath and began to speak. This time, no stammer, no fear, just strength. Her voice filled the hall. Steady, confident, unforgettable. People rose to their feet, a standing ovation. Tears in her eyes. She thought of one person, her primary 5 teacher, the one who told her not to speak. Today the world was listening. Adaora's story reminds us that people may mock your beginning, but they can never predict your ending. They may laugh at your weakness today, but they'll pay to hear your strength tomorrow. Your voice, whatever it sounds like, has a place in this world. And your story, no matter how broken, can become someone else's healing. If you enjoyed this story, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Do you believe your weakness can become your greatest gift? Share your thoughts below, and see you in the next story.